Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Realms of Ruin. Let's just this out of the way. A lot of people seem to be upset that this isn't a traditional base building RTS in the vein of StarCraft and Age of Empires. And it's not. It plays a lot closer to the Company of Heroes series, with fighting over objective points that must be captured in order to drain the opponent's score and win the match, and others that provide tickets of resources. Buildings are limited to a small selection of upgrades that can be built on these points to increase resource income, provide vision, attack enemies, heal allies, etc. If you come into this expansion a more traditional RTS, you will be disappointed here. This is more a game about managing your units, not only army composition, but their positioning, timing their abilities, and when and where to engage. The last part is especially important because once units are locked in melee combat, they cannot maneuver or change targets. Aside from the use of certain special abilities, they must fight to death, unless given the order to retreat. If ordered to retreat, they will free all the way back to your main base to heal. This makes engagements a very deliberate and tense game of cat and mouse, carefully moving to avoid ambushes, charging the enemy's flanks, and tying up their ranged units in melee so they can harass you. While some people have been critical of the way units become locked in melee combat and can be micromanaged, it really is integral to the way the game plays, and is a blessing because it forces you to focus on the overall battlefield rather than you trying to such a step to avoid attacks. And trust me, the game is hectic enough without the extra level of micro. It also makes the decision of when and where to engage, and with which units, an extremely important one because you are forced to commit to those decisions and can't simply form a big blob of units and have them all target your enemy's critical pieces. Instead, you must protect your own crucial pieces by intercepting incoming attackers, whilst trying to circumvent or create gaps in the enemy's own defense. So gameplay may seem simple on surface, but there is a lot of going on. It's a low skill floor, high skill sailing kind of game, and I can already foresee multiplayer matches being very intensive, with lots of opportunity for clever team plays in the 2v2 mode. Graphics are very nice and performance has been good even on my older machine. Sound design is fantastic, with excellent performances from the voice cores, well-released atmospheric effects and evocated music. I was especially pleased to see a robots options menu with lots of assembly settings, something that is sadly still lacking in many modern games. While not perfect, I'd love to see more factions and more game modes featuring higher player counts. This is a game that clearly has been given a lot of love from the developers. The fact that it launched with an army painted and fully integrated map creator with photo mode should alone lead to longevity provided by player creativity. And while I heavily stress this is a fully featured and complete game, not something unfinished that has been pushed out the door, I can only hope the developers continue to support it for years to come. With continued love, this actually could very well become a new flashlight RTS title.